let's say that we want to send an email, and in this email we're going to send it to Ona Dog, okay, my dog Ona, and we want to send him both an email to his email 1, which we'll assume is his work email. We also want to send him an email to email 2, okay, hello at the API guys, so we'll assume that's his home email address. And on top of that, we want to send an email to his assistant. Now, they have assistant name, but they don't do his assistant, an assistant email, which is funny because they also do, which is bizarre to me, right? They do assistant name, assistant phone, no assistant email. But anyway, so we made an assistant email field here as a custom field. Now, one of the things you'll also notice that's kind of different about the way this works in Infusionsoft, this is actually just a text field that will also work with email anyone. It does not have to be a email field, which is also different. So we've got this text field with his assistant's email address in it. So to do that the Infusionsoft way currently, we're going to have to do that as 3 different emails linked one after the other, because again, Infusionsoft here, when you build them through the campaign builder, purposefully has no CC or BCC, right? And so here's the email going to the first one. Then if you look at the next one down the chain, I had changed that one to email 2. And then if you look at this third one, what we do on the third one to get, again, this is the Infusionsoft way, not with email anyone. This, you have to say other, and then you can, in fact, merge in that, that field, right? Although I'm not sure if it will actually work, given I haven't tested that to see whether it will work being a text field in Infusionsoft or not. But I know it'll work with any text. So that would be the way that you would have to do that currently. So with AnyTech, or sorry, Email Anyone, we do it a little bit different. So the way that you set up this post, and you'll recall from last week that all of our plugins run as posts in the campaign builder, and again, you'll recall that they all are installed on your server when you purchase them. I am running them off of my server as if I had purchased them, but if you were doing this, your domain would be whatever the domain is on the server where you installed this. And so, and this is the path where Pocket Developer puts Email Anyone, okay? So again, very similar to the path last week for AnyDate. And these are your base parameters, okay? Now, contact ID, as you'll recall from last week, is the default. When you open a new HTTP post snippet, this is already set, and you just leave that alone. We never mess with that. You have one other required parameter in Email Anyone, and that is the template ID. So one of the things that we're doing here to get around all of this is we are sending a template, okay? So this tells it which template do you want to send, and that is a required parameter. So if you go over here to manage email templates, you will notice, I'm going to go back because that is 4611. We're going to use a couple different ones here. 4445, okay, is just a template I had. So first notice of Polo Skills sale. Okay, you can ignore the text and everything because I'm just like hijacking this. So what you'll notice here is that this is from Kim at poloskills.com, and it has a subject line, and this particular one has no merge fields in it, but it has an ID of 4445, okay? So what we do is we say, all right, our template ID is 4445. We can just pick any template that we have set up, okay? Now, if all we did is do that, it's going to send template ID 4445 to this contact as currently configured. Okay? But you can do a lot of other things if you want. So, for example, you can put in a to parameter which will override everything in the template, as well as, this is one to get your brain around, as well as even the contact ID if you want to. I'm gonna save that really for the advanced class, but like I could actually, well, no I'm not. I can put in here, I can put in here, I can put in my email address like this. Okay, all of these will take comma separated fields, which is something else that we don't have in the core template. So I could put in kim@kimsnyder.com, I could put in contact.email.com, and there is a notation that would allow me to send this to like the referrer's, this contact's referrer's email, or to the company's email, or to any email. If I can get this to resolve to any email address using our notation, then I can do that and just basically kind of make this somewhat, not necessary. So, right? So this can be three things. This can be, just so you know, so this can be a fixed email address. This can be a standard merge field, like the ones you find here in the merge button, or this can be any field accessed via our advanced merge field notation, which again, I've said last week, I'll keep saying for the next couple of weeks, we're going to cover when we get to the more advanced stuff. But it is covered if you're interested. Just to give you an idea where to find it if you do want to know about that. It's in our Learning Center under PDF documentation. We are actually in the process of updating it, but it's there. We've added a bunch of stuff to it, and it says advanced merge field notation. So that is where, if you're interested in that and you want to skip ahead, then that is where you would do that. Okay, so the to field overrides whatever is in the template, okay? And it can be a comma separated list, anything that validates to an email address. Same with from. Now this one is really kind of interesting notation that I've got here. You'll notice that in the template, okay, if you look at this template, you know what, I should probably change this template ID. Let's change this, because I've actually got, let's change this template ID. I want to use a different template, not this one. Go back. Let's use my demo. This one, 4611. Okay. In 4611, the from is kim@theapiguys.com. Okay, 4611. So I'm going to change this to be 4611. Okay, now here this looks kind of like a merge field, but not exactly. So what I've done is I've said, this is part of our advanced notation, I'll just tell you, and I'm overriding the from, and I hear someone sink in the background. You probably hear my dogs in the background. I'm overriding the from with the email address of contact number 11. Okay? Now, contact number 11 happens to be me, and it's actually Kim. If I do it like this, you'll see I have in my own app, there's 3 of me with 3 different email addresses, and one of them, kim@poloskills.com, is ID 11. So here, rather than hard, this is just a variation on hard coding like this, okay? If I say, and this works for all kinds of different things, if I say contact 11's email address, then what it's going to put in here is Kim, you'll see when we send it, it's going to put in kim@poloskills.com because that's the email address for contact ID 11, okay? But again, these are optional fields. And now here's the third one. I'm going to do a CC, and in this CC, this is where I'm going to get email address 2 and also that assistant's email address. So remember, originally this was oh, I better take that out. I don't want that. So originally we were sending it to email 2, and the assistant, and we were doing it in 3 different emails. Here we're doing it in a single post using this template to email and CC email 2 and assistant's email address. Does that make sense to everybody before I go on and actually send this? Or does anyone have any questions about what I've done or how any of this works?
Okay, Kim, practical application of this is for our work order and quote process.
Mm-hmm.
Where currently we are doing 11 emails, and so therefore we have to create 11 emails. If we have to go through the pain of actually modifying them, we've got to modify 11 emails as it stands because it's or whatever it is, 9 or 10. So this allows us to copy those in essentially with one email message.
Yes. In fact, I mean, Monica is on the call and Carlos is on the call, and we were just talking about this very thing for you this morning in our morning meeting. So I don't even know if I should even mention this, but so for you, what's going to happen is we're using the advanced notation for you, and there's you guys just cover your ears if this confuses you, okay? But there's, just pretend like I didn't say this. So one of the things that we can do in our advanced notation is we can say contact, and then we say filter by, and then we say so we say first name. Oops, I spelled it wrong. And first name, and then we say wildcard, and then I think your plan numbers are 5 digits, something like that. No, one more digit, like that, 32157. And then we do dot. Oh wait, I forgot, not dot there, dot here. Contact. Email. Dot email. Filter by first name 32157, and actually this would not even be email. This would be email, and then email 4, email 5, email 6, email 7, email 8, whatever. So here's what this returns right here. Let's imagine this was the BCC field in your deal. What this is going to do, Ozzy, is it's going to go find the contact that has 32157 in its first name and grab email 4 for that contact. And that's how we're going to be, and you'll see, that's how we're going to email your executive committees. And then you put a comma and you make this all like a, just a string of emails. And that way we can put them all in. Now we actually can also get fancier than that, and I really am not going to go over it here, but we can also, here, make this a variable. We call it prefetch, and we'll get to that later, but actually we can make this too so that, that's wrong, so that that's not hard-coded, that's actually more dynamic, and it'll merge that number in there and find it, but nonetheless, that's kind of the general idea. And as you'll see here in a minute, what we're going to do is, you know, send this to multiple people multiple times, and it will do that too, without choking on it. And you know, it's not how Infusionsoft doesn't send that email because of its spam rules. So this plugin gets around those spam rules as well. So that's how we handle that.
Okay, interesting. Can I just thought of something that might relate to outside of the work order and quote process? We do a lot of meetings for customers, and we send out formal agendas and formal minutes. When we do that, we send the agenda and minutes out to as a blind copy to all in Infusionsoft terms, all contact records that have a tag, you know, related to that strata plan number that you're giving an example of here. So we can apply this sort of approach to saying if we want to send out one email that blind copies, you know, up to 100 other owners, that's the most. This would do the same thing, right?
Yes. Yes, it would.
Yeah,
so one of the things we're gonna, Carlos is probably like, Carlos, are you there?
Yeah. What, Kim? Why was that a long yes? That was
well,
yes.
So here's the thing. There's a field in the contact record that lists. It does list all the tags that are applied to that record, and so I wanted to, you know, I want him to confirm this, that you know, there's no reason this wouldn't work out of the box. But I'll just tell you what it is. Hang on one second.
Or alternatively, Kim, it doesn't have to be a tag, because in those records for the question that I'm asking, it's actually stored as that number is actually stored as a field as well.
Well, we can definitely get to the field, but however, I mean, a lot of people want to send emails to people, you know, everyone who has a certain tag, right?
Oh, that's
so, right? So if you look at, now where I am, you guys, is, I think I did this last week. I just have it as a bookmark here on my browser, but I'm in developer.infusionsoft.com, and then you say table documentation, and it gives you a list of all the tables, and inside of those tables you can see the fields, right? And so this is the contact table, and there is in fact a field here called let's see, let me just find it. I say that, I think, called groups, which, you know, this is sort of that tribal knowledge that you get over time. Yeah, that's logical. Tags are called groups. But that's what this is. This string includes the IDs of all of the various tags that are applied to this contact. It's also other places. This is really for easy reference. And it's not, you can't write to it. You can't apply a tag that way, but it is there in the contact record. So in theory, we would have to test this. I guess we could. What you would do is you would say so let's imagine you did this. You would say email, contact.email, filter by groups, and then you'd have to use a tag ID. So let's say that the tag ID was, you know, I don't know, 32. You could, now the problem with that is, you know, actually that's not going to be ideal. We're probably going to have to talk about how to do that later. That might be something we have to add to this, and I'll tell you why. Because with those with these wildcards, it would pick up both everyone who had tag 32 and everyone who had tag 321. So that actually would not work for that. But actually, something else would. Yeah, you could get to it. It's kind of, you'd have to do a prefetch or something, and it's kind of ugly. So we may put that on the development list. Someone like Ramona or Kirsten, can you make a note of this for me so that we'll put it on the roadmap? Because yeah, this is something people want to do all the time, is send to people who have certain tags. In fact, that's kind of how the Infusionsoft system works, isn't it? So we definitely need to be able to filter by tag ID here. That would be good. All right, so that was cool. All right, so I'm going to get rid of that because we're not doing that. So this part makes sense to everybody before we send this email? Any other questions about this? Okay, well, let's do this. All right, so let's make sure that I haven't messed anything up here while I was talking to you guys. Hopefully I haven't put a comma in the wrong place or something. Okay, so we're going to take our buddy Own a Dog over here. And we'll just apply a tag and see what emails we get. So I'm going to apply a tag. And the tag is test email anyone, and I hit apply. So it's going to take it a second, assuming I haven't totally messed something up. I should hear it go off. Usually I hear it on my phone before I hear it in my Gmail, so we'll wait a second on that. And while we're waiting on that, we'll go and talk about, oh, there, I just got it. Where'd it go? Here we go. So you can see here what happened, and you might have noticed I got, okay, so we've got to ona@kimsnyder.com. We've also got the CC, hello@theapiguys.com, assistant dog at the API. So here's email 1, email 2, and dog's assistant is there in the 3 fields. We have a receipt for, well, that's like not configured right, but anyway, we got the email to the 3 people, which is what we were striving for at that point. We'll fill in this stuff here in a minute, right? So that's how we do the 2 and the CC and the BCC. Okay, make sense to everybody? All right, now let's go talk about this other scenario here. So the other scenario is the one that you are very familiar with. Actually, there's a bunch, but this is one that is problematic for a lot of people, and that is the idea of the fact that if I send an administrative email to someone other than the contact in the campaign multiple times, they only get the first email. And they never get the subsequent email. So, and this happens all the time. Just got an email from someone about this yesterday. No, Friday, about this very issue, and could we solve it for them? So the way that we solve this is this. So here's our first post with email anyone. Okay, same thing here. Contact ID. Now I'm just going to make this really simple. I'm going to send an email to Nessa Dog, and so Nessa@kimsnyder.com, and we're just going to send that 4445 template that we looked at before, right, to Nessa. And then she's like, "What? Me? I'm getting an email?" And then this is a custom delay timer. That I don't know that we went over custom delay timer last week or not. And I know Christy wasn't here, and so the custom delay timer, the purpose of it is to just delay for a little bit, like in this case I'm delaying for 30.5 seconds, and I'm doing the half just because I can. So long enough for something to, just something to complete, because of course in Infusionsoft the shortest delay that you can have with a timer is 15 minutes, and obviously I don't want to wait 15 minutes to show you that I can send the second email. So we're going to delay 30.5 seconds, and then we're going to send a second email to Nestedog. And we're going to do that. We put in, these are required, so you have a call name that hopefully you're going to make unique, Kim111, a delay for 30.5 seconds, and then that always has to go, the delays always, universal delay timer or custom delay timer always has to be the last thing in your sequence, and then it waits 30.5 seconds, and then it fires this goal, which is an API goal, which has got a call name of Kim111, and then once we fire that, it's going to resume, and then it's going to send another email, different, this time different template, so we can tell them apart, 4611, but also to nessa@kimsnyder.com, neither one of which are the contact, because the contact is going to be Ona, right? So we're gonna put a tag on Ona, and it's going to send 2 emails to Nessa 30 seconds apart. That's the goal. That's, if all goes according to plan anyway. So let's publish this and see how this works. Oops, heck, just pushed the wrong button. Okay, try again. Publish, publish. Okay, so let's try this. You can see I actually didn't test this before our meeting. You guys would never believe what happened to, oh well, actually you would totally believe what happened to me. I spent 3 hours on an email this morning, and literally writing the email, and then I went to get on a Google Hangout and it froze up my browser, and even though I had been hitting save all along, I was doing it in the templates, it was gone. So that kind of threw a total wrench in my day. Actually, what it did more than anything is it put me in a little bit of a bad mood this morning.
You're never in a bad mood, Kim.
Oh, there were probably a few people on the call who could say otherwise. We had some meetings this morning, and I was really trying to focus on those meetings so hard, but all I could think about was like, maybe that's like gonna magically reappear somehow. It never did. I had to rewrite the whole thing this afternoon. All right, so here we go. It's Owner Dog, but Nessa's the one that's gonna be getting these emails. So let's try it again, and it may actually end up delaying for 15 minutes here. We'll see. If it does, we'll fire it manually. All right, so we have a tag applied. We will double check it. Make sure it's actually going to run. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you use posts and it might be other things as well, and you like keep I guess it must, oh, wow. And you keep sending the contact through the campaign over and over and over and over again to test it, it eventually, yeah, not this time, it eventually starts delaying at 15 minutes, and you're like, why didn't my thing run? This one is not delayed. It just, if I refresh it, it will have run. But I don't know how many times you have to run it through there before it starts delaying, but it's not very many. Okay, so now we have, okay, and actually it should have sent, so you can see it's already fired the delay, because it was only delaying for 30 seconds and was about to run the second send second email down here. So in theory, we should have here a email or two. Oh, really? I think I messed that up. Which one? Hang on. I goobered it up. Oh wait, that's templates. I want campaigns. Oh, both of them are goobered up. See, Carlos is in the background telling me. Hang on. Alright, let me do it again. Okay, wait, what's the issue here? You guys can just see that he's here in the background.
Can
Huh?
you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Oh.
Yep.
The parameter is actually template ID. You have template there.
Oh, I used. Thank you. Thank you. You are paying attention.
Well done, Ramon.
No, it's
Carlos.
Carlos, actually.
Carlos, sorry, Carlos.
Alright, here we go. So we got template ID. Silly me. So Carlos, what do you think about that tag thing?
I think it's a cool idea. I
listening?
think we're gonna have. Yeah, I was listening. I think we're gonna have to add something like has tags or something like that because, like you said, I think that wild card is gonna be too loose. It's gonna match a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Alright, so now this should work. My bad. Okay, try it again. Find Ona. I guess I could really apply it to anybody, couldn't I? Since they're all going to Nessa, it really doesn't matter.
Well, can I ask a question in the context of? I mean, we're talking about emails here. One of the things that drives me crazy is in Legacy you're able to create a template email and use it many times. In other words, it wasn't just grabbing a copy of the email and pasting it. In Legacy, you're able to create an email, use it many times. So if you had to change an email template, you change it in one place, and all the campaigns that it was in, the change would affect multiple campaigns. So that was the way Legacy used to operate. Under Campaign Builder, it just threw me when I first started Campaign Builder because grabbing the template is just grabbing the emails and then using it. But if you make a change, you've got to make it in some cases, and the work order and quote process is a case in point. That you would have to change it sometimes up to 100 times because for one small change in an email. So with your functionality somewhere, are we able to, because that's on Infusionsoft's roadmap, well, I hope, because this is one issue that I brought up last week at the user group. So is there any way of dealing with that with your functionality?
Yeah, it already does because ours uses a template.
Wow.
Yep. So if you're using that 4611,
Oh, I see. I see.
then see, I have to post these manually this time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you're using a template, and I'm about to show you all the cool things you can do with a merge field.
Oh, wow, that is huge. Oh my God.
Then now you can just fix it in one place, and you don't have to. Now that that well, I'll just wait until we get to that section to make some other comments about it. Okay, so here comes these emails, I believe. Yep. So there's two of these, right? The first one was this one, the Polo Skills Network one. Oh wait, actually I think there's a, no, that's not it. There's another one coming. Hang on. Let me go back. That's the wrong one. Oops. Okay, here's the first one to Nessa. Okay, so that one came through to Nessa. Now wait, actually, I may have to repost that one too. So let's see if the second one ran. Not sure how it schedules the second one, if it puts the 15 minutes on that one too, or if it's just after that. Send second email. Okay, so that one went by itself. That one just went at 5:55. So we should, in fact, have another email coming. Let's see if we do. There's the second one. See? So these are both to Nessa. That's Nessa, and I made them two different templates just so we could tell them apart. So here's the first one to Nessa. It's this Polo Skills sale one. And then here's the second one to Nessa, and it's this receipt that I haven't put merge fields in yet, but we're going to do that in a minute. Okay? So there's two emails going to the same person, same admin. And of course, that could be 10 admins. It doesn't really care. Right? Does that make sense? Now, Kenton, you said, I think we have to create individual group, then we can send. What does that mean? Got some.
Hello.
Yep. Hello.
I'm involved, like, when you showed the first time and Ozzy asked about the tagging, I was getting his idea is like we were sending different strata, different emails or notices. So that's why I say is like probably we need to create as a group for particular strata, and for based on the template, I understand that time like the one template we can use for the multiple peoples, where we had the issue as the legacy and the campaign builder, where with campaign builder we required to create different emails. So that's the reason I said I think we need to create as a group for the particular strata, and as your BCC ID, we can use that as a group ID. So we don't need to have BCC1 or BCC2 for different person. That's the reason I said might be really required to create all of that strata email address under one group, where we can use that group under the BCC, if I'm not wrong.
So,
Yeah.
So use the, instead of saying EC1, EC2, to have just the tag name in there, which is essentially the group.
Yeah, there's two ways to do it. I mean, well, there's many ways to do it, right? So one way is kind of the way that you've got it set up right now, where you've got a contact for the plan, right? And so the name of the plan is whatever, 32156, and then you've got email 1, email 2, email 3, email 4, email 5, email 6. In which case we just filter by the plan number, and then say, give me, email 1, email 2, email 3, email. So we have to put 8 email addresses. We also have something in there, so if we put in 8, but 4 of them are empty, that's okay. So that part doesn't matter, because some may have 4 and some may have 8 and some may have 3. That's okay too, right?
Yeah.
But
Yep.
the other way to go, which is I think the way that that you're suggesting, Chet, and either way will work. It's just a question of, you know, which makes sense to you. The other way to work would be to, if you're going to have, instead of 1 contact with 8 email addresses, would be to make 8 contacts and give them all a tag that says 32157 or whatever, and then you could, once we add what we were just talking about, then you could email them by has tag. And either one of, once we got that new piece done, either one of those would work.
Okay, so Chetan, in the example that you're referring to, we would probably need to create a tag for 32156 EC and tag those contact records as being the EC members.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're on the right track, mate.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Good. Well done. Well done.
Good. Okay, so let's go look at a different scenario here as well. All right. So so far everything we've done has to do with the sender and the recipient. I just want to talk briefly about what's available to you in the template as well. So if we go to this demo email anyone anytime template, I should probably use a different contact this time so I don't get that delay. Okay, so what I did in this template, now again, this is, you know, and I'm telling, you know, this is our advanced merge field notation, but it's basic advanced merge field notation, if there's such a thing, right? It's simple advanced, so we'll get into the really complex stuff in a while, but I wanted to show you this because it really does kind of start to get, I want your guys to be like thinking about, you know, how you can apply all of this. So notice what we did here. In this subject line, I've got a merge field, or what looks to be a merge field, for something called order.jobtitle.newest. And what that is, if we go to Nessadog, who I'm pretty sure has an order. Well, here's her order right here. No, sorry, that's an opportunity. Wrong. Let me find, nope. Let me find Nessadog here really quick. Nessadog. Okay. So now we're looking for an order, but of course this will work with anything. This will work with company or opportunities or invoices or referrers or all kinds of things. So here is an order, and you'll see here Nessa has 3 orders, right? With the newest one being this one on 9/22 for dog bones, $20. Okay, so if I just look at that order really quickly, you can see here's the order title right here. It's dog bones, order date, and etc. Right? So what I've done here in this email template, just to kind of give you guys a little sneak peek at what can be done, is I say order job title newest. Okay, so that means it's going to pull the job title for the order, the newest order. Okay, we have other things you can put here as well. And then down here in the merge fields, we've done something similar, only this time I'm using invoice, and I'm using invoice.invoice total. Now, by the way, I could here, if I wanted to, put .newest or .oldest, but the default is newest, so I put it here and I left it off here. They both give you the same thing, the same order, because if I don't put anything, it does always assume newest. And And so invoice, this is going to give you the invoice total, and this is going to give you the invoice total due. On this order, please remit at your earliest convenience. So if we run this for NessaDog, and this is template, just make sure I got the right one, 4611. So let's run this here. Let me go back to this real quick. I'm going to do this. I'm going to disconnect this. Chrome, that doesn't work so well sometimes. Alright, and I'm going to fix this. Make sure that's 4611. It is. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't need it. I'm going to get rid of that. And just send 4611. Well, we'll just send it to me. Actually, let's just do that. Okay, so 4611 is coming to me with Nessa's order information, just to make it easy. So, yeah, why not? Okay, so we're going to say back to, we're going to say publish. Say publish. And then apply this to Nessa. Okay, so that actually should go fairly quickly. Let's see. Not yet. Oops. Hang on. There it goes. Here we go. So, you can see here, we've got receipt for dog bones. Oh, I forgot to actually tell you. So there was also company name was in here too. If you look at this, hang on, look at this template. I forgot to show you that because it was actually showing as. So here, this was company.company was in there too. Invoice, invoice total due. And so what you got, because in her contact record, if you look at Nessa here, right, her company is Gemini Farm. Okay, so I just put that there, just to show it as a merge field. So Gemini Farm, thank you for your order totaling $20. Just a reminder, there is still a balance of $20 on this order. Please remit at your earliest convenience. So there's all kinds of really cool things that we can do with that. Since it's your homework, I'm going to not tell you what those are and leave it to you guys to be thinking about what all you might be able to do with that. But it can get kind of crazy, actually, when you can suddenly access every piece of information in the database without, you know, having to know code, really, just the advanced merge field notation. So that is that scenario. And then I have one more, but before I do that, and it's similar, I was just going to show you an opportunity. But any questions, comments, thoughts on that?
Just one word, and it's awesome.
Thank you. I think the more I think about it, the more I use it. I like just think, oh my gosh, like we could rule the world with this thing. Nobody, you know, we just released it in the last 2 days, and so really no one. In fact, the email that I lost this morning, that I spent 3 hours on, was the email to our list telling everybody that we released email anywhere, email anyone. But yeah, like I'll tell you one of the things I'm working on, which is just crazy, crazy, crazy. I'll show you. I'll actually show you. I'll give you.
I'm sure you don't underestimate it, Kim, but it's the difference. Like combining what we've learned, like what we're showing us today, is the difference between doing a cost-effective implementation and a non-cost-effective implementation.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Because if you currently, the whole concept of reusable code, I call it, so essentially the way legacy used to work, you create a template and then you can reuse it multiple times because it doesn't change. It's just that now we've got to use bloody campaign builder to do it. So if you have to create something 100 times and then if you make a mistake, go and change it 100 times, like, you know, that all costs. So if you're delivering a solution to a client and you've budgeted, oh, you know, it's going to cost you $10,000, and they say, oh, you know, there's one thing that I want to change, or it might only be one word, and you've got to go and change 100 emails within the campaign. Whereas the way legacy used to work, you just change it in one place and everything's changed.
Right. That is, yeah, you're absolutely right. That is one of the, and they thought they fixed it by being able to copy things from, you know, sequences and campaigns, but it's still, I mean, it makes it better, but it's still very definitely not reusable.
Oh, it's not better, it's a dog. Absolutely dog. So to speak, yeah.
I'm trying to find this, because I want to show you what I'm trying to copy here.
Is this going to blow our socks off?
I hope so. I hope so. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, well this, yeah, perfect. All right, this is not our order, but this is exactly what I'm trying to do. Okay, so this is something someone asked us about in one of the Facebook groups. So this is the notification email that you get from when you have notifications turned on in Infusionsoft on an order, right? And the question was, she said, my client wants to have their email address on this notification. Now you'll notice that it has their phone number, but it doesn't have their email address, right? And I said, so, I mean, you know, obviously, like you just saw, I can pull all kinds of stuff, but I gotta, you know, to just say, yeah, I can send you a receipt with their email address every time someone orders. That's pretty easy. But she's like, no, they want this, all this information with their email address. Like so what I'm working on, Carlos is helping me. Let me just see if I can find my notes here. Hang on one second. Is Kim. So I've been playing with this. Kim. This one. So it's kind of ugly still, but so this is my notes to basically, you can see what I'm doing here, to use email anyone to essentially recreate this exact notification with just adding the email right here. The whole point of this is to add this one stinking field, right? But if the client I'm doing this as just as an exercise and a proof of concept that I can actually do it and get it to look like that. But you know, if they're willing to pay to get all of this done, to be able to, this is, you know, this is not code. This is just our advanced merge field notation being fed into email anywhere. That's it. And so what it'll end up doing is reproducing that. That's pretty darn cool, if I do say so myself. So think what you can do with that. But we'll save that for this is for like the advanced class. But anyway, that's basically what it is. That's pretty neat, huh?
Yeah, this is great.
So, I mean, it just makes, you know, you know, I keep telling people that with these Pocket Developer plugins, you can write, I mean, there's a reason we call it Pocket Developer, because you can just write almost anything that you used to have to code for, all but the most, you know, well, I don't want to say anything because we find things every day we can't do, but we add them as quick as we find them. So anyway, so that's, I'm pretty darn excited about that. It's pretty exciting. So, all right, so that's really all I had prepared for you. I have a, you know, I could show you one more example where we pull from an opportunity, but probably don't think that's really necessary. That's this one. So what, any questions or anything that you'd like me to cover while, before we end? Christy, Christy wants to see opportunities. Okay. Cool, will do. All right, hang on.
Hey, Christy, has the cat got your tongue?
No, Ozzy, I've been on mute. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Jake went to the store at 7:30 and just brought me in bacon and eggs, so I was like eating my breakfast.
Oh yeah. We didn't want to hear you eating.
Kim, this is absolutely like fantastic. Obviously, the implications for Aussie's work order quote campaign, but also just, you know, there are probably, well, every client, but like 20 of my clients that would, you know, that would totally benefit from this being in their app.
Yay!
So that's very cool.
Great. Well, and you know, there's 32 more of these in the store, right? And we have a 15% referral program. So.
Jake sat on, I think, your training call a couple of weeks ago, and he thought it was pretty cool. We've been kind of head down and bum up doing a new training program, so that's kind of been taking our time before we refocus to our client load. So I think when we come back around and start doing implementations again, I'll have to give you a call.
Okay, absolutely.
Are you
all right, so
PartnerCon, of course?
Yes. Are you?
Cool. Yeah.
You too? Yeah, I know Ozzy, right? Yeah. You are? Okay, so probably the easiest way would be to just change this. Let's see. So who? I know that we had an opportunity. I just pulled it up a second ago, right here, for dog bones, and come on. Did I not get it? Try again. There we go. Now I can start using my goats too. We just got goats. So I can have Willow goat and Maureen goat. Dogs are out there barking at them right now. All right, so this is an opportunity. And let's just do this. Let's make sure we have more than one opportunity so we can play with that. I think he's only got one. So we'll do like a filter by or something here. Okay, so yeah, so he has only one. So let's real quick add another one. So we'll put this one in do nothing, and can someone who's one of you guys, Monica, or someone who might have Infusion? No, never mind. I'll look it up. I need to know it. We'll do a stage ID. We'll do this. We'll say something like. Oh no, never mind. I got it. We'll do this because this is the only one that has dessert. All right, so we'll do opportunity notes. Say it says dessert in it. And we could do other things, but this is close enough. All right, so yeah. Okay, so if we go to here, so what we're going to do is we're going to say opportunity dot. We want what do we want to put in here? A title, which I need to look up. Quick, make sure I get the field name right. By the way, there are some weird things, like, for example, group. Another one is job is actually orders, and lead is actually opportunities. We have created aliases in our notation, so you can use group, job, or lead, but you also can use order and opportunity, and it will work. So here's opportunity title, and here is opportunity notes. Those are the names of the fields. So what we'll do here is we'll say we want, this won't make any sense at all, but that's okay. We'll say we want to see the, here. Get rid of all this. This will do it. All right, so we want the opportunity notes dot filter by opportunity notes, and then Carlos, does this have to have it does, doesn't it? Have to have a quotes around it? I'm sure it does.
Yeah, double
yeah.
quotes, actually.
Oh, it has to be double. Thank you. Double. Okay, so opportunity notes filter by where there's the word dessert in the note. Okay, so we'll do.
You would need a wildcard there. That would.
Oh yeah, of course. Yep. Thank you. Good catch. Thank you. Okay, like that. All right, so save that.
Kim, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so with this, the way, so my question with the opportunities was around, if you've got 5 opportunities on a customer, how do you know which opportunity you're referring to then in the email? And you've answered that by saying, well, you basically look and see if a particular mention is in there. But if this is hard-coded into a campaign, so we need to basically have a convention to pick up the right opportunity. So the scenario I'm thinking of, which is Aussie's quoting scenario, is say you've got one electrician that is working on 3 jobs. We could put each of the 3 jobs into an individual opportunity, but then maybe we need to have some kind of convention, like call it job 1 in opportunity notes, job 2, job 3, so then the campaign can refer to the right opportunity to pull that data back out.
Yes. So these, conventions obviously become important once you start getting into these, kind of complex workflows that have tables, one-to-many type relationships. Yeah. So, but it also, a lot of times, because, by the way, we can have multiples of these, and so it's not, you're not just limited to one, and you can, when we get to advanced merge field notation, we have things like greater than and less than and count and min and max and all kinds of stuff that goes with this. So, so you can do, where owner is X, is John, and stage ID is 26, and strata plan is 23, and it has the word plumbing, and, and so, and still it does help to be, and then, most recently updated or something like that, right? So, so when you have to kind of think through what would make it unique, and if there is really no combination that occurs naturally, then yeah, giving it some kind of a title or something is always helpful.
Okay, cool.
Because that's the quickest way to get to it.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind just letting Christy know just how you're intending on using opportunities within our campaign, just so she's aware of that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of, sort of like what you just said, Christy. But is Monica? Oh, Monica left.
No. So is there one opportunity per job? Is the question?
Yeah.
Per job.
There is. So what happens? The way that we're doing it, Christy, is that when the work order is created, or the quote work order, or whatever, the request actually is the word I'm looking for, is created, we create a dummy contact that with an opportunity, and then the dummy contact, its job is actually, it's just a ferry. It just takes the opportunity through the campaign. That's its only purpose. And then the opportunity itself is the work order, and then and all the information around that. And then we're able then to link the contractors as contacts, and then all the executive committee members currently are on a single contact, which is a plan number. And then, we can just we tie them all together, and they kind of all work as it all works its way through the system. And then when it gets to the very end, we delete the contact, but the opportunity stays, even once you've deleted the contact. So we have a historical record of all of those work orders and things, but the contact goes away, so we're not cluttering the system with all those contacts.
Can I ask, one of the problems that I found when we were first building it was you couldn't have a strata committee do like a click goal if they weren't the primary contact moving through the campaign. So how does that work now?
Yeah, so we have a plugin for that.
Okay, cool.
Yep, we do have a plugin for that.
That I will be purchasing from you.
Okay, yep, it's there. It's in the store right now. Yeah, well, you know what you're going to probably want to do, honestly, and is you're probably going to want to just go get the developer suite.
Yeah. That's what Jake and I have talked about.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's got, between those 8, I think there's now 8 plugins in that developer suite, and that's going to do pretty much everything you could possibly want. So.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, but so, I mean, you get the idea here. I could run it, but you know what it's going to do, right? It's just going to print out those notes that I put in here, this right here.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and I could do that with anything. I could do that with the dates or pretty much anything that's contained in this opportunity. So, yeah.
Yep.
What else?
That's it.
Any other questions anyone has?
Okay, just to Kim, just to wrap it up. Recording from last week and this week, can you send it out to us this week?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I can give you the link right now. Well, I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, that's probably better.
And just in terms of, I got some communication from Monica yesterday. The Pocket Developer code, PHP scripts, are they loaded on our server yet?
We did not load them on your server. I set them up so that you could download them anytime. And if she has your FTP credentials and API key, and you'd like her to do that for you, then we certainly can. But they're there in the portal, ready to be downloaded at any time.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's all right. I can do that.
Yeah. And I did add email anywhere in email. These things are like running together in my head. Email anyone the other day when we released it, so that's in there as well.